Welcome to our vocabulary channel. As a part of our ongoing endeavor to garner words from diverse domains and fathom their meaning, we will deal with generic drug names today. Did you know that you can tell what a medicine is for just by looking at the suffix in the generic drug name? Today, we're going to dive into medication suffixes, break down their meanings, and give you plenty of examples to help you better understand your prescriptions. Let's begin with the suffix pril. Medications ending with the suffix pril are part of a class called ACE inhibitors. These medicines are often prescribed to treat high blood pressure, heart failure, and even protect the kidneys in people with diabetes. Here are some common examples of medicine names ending in pril. Lisinopril, often used for hypertension. Enalapril, which can treat both high blood pressure and heart failure. Ramipril, commonly prescribed after heart attacks. Ramipril is also used to improve survival after a heart attack. Perindopril, used in the management of cardiovascular risk. Next up is Olol. This suffix is found in beta blocker medications, which slow down your heart rate and reduce the workload on your heart. They're used to treat a variety of heart conditions, including high blood pressure, arrhythmias, and even anxiety in some cases. Here are a few examples of medicines ending with the suffix olol. Atenolol, used for hypertension and angina or chest pain. Propranolol, used for hypertension, migraine prevention, and anxiety. Metoprolol, commonly prescribed for heart failure and high blood pressure. Bisoprolol, another option for managing hypertension, heart failure, and arrhythmias. Let's talk about the suffix statin next. Medications with the suffix statins are generally designed to lower cholesterol. Statins help reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke by blocking an enzyme your body needs to produce cholesterol. Here are some widely used statins. Atorvastatin, one of the most commonly prescribed statins for lowering LDL cholesterol. Simvastatin, also used to reduce cholesterol and prevent cardiovascular disease. Rosuvastatin, known for its potency in lowering cholesterol. Lovastatin, one of the older statins, often prescribed to reduce cholesterol levels. Now let's take a look at the suffix azole. This ending is commonly found in antifungal medications, which are used to treat fungal infections by disrupting the cell membranes of fungi. These drugs are useful for everything from athlete's foot to more serious systemic infections. Examples of medications ending with suffix azole are fluconazole, often used to treat yeast infections or fungal infections in the mouth. Ketoconazole, which can be used for both topical and systemic fungal infections. Itraconazole, commonly prescribed for nail fungus and systemic infections. Clotrimazole, typically used for skin infections. Moving on to the suffix psilin. Medications ending in psilin are part of the penicillin class of antibiotics, which are used to treat bacterial infections. They work by preventing bacteria from building their protective cell walls. Some well-known examples include amoxicillin, commonly used for ear infections, respiratory infections, and strep throat. Penicillin, which has been around for decades and is still used for a wide range of infections. Ampicillin, often prescribed for urinary tract infections and respiratory infections. Dicloxacillin, used for staphylococcal infections like cellulitis. Let's move on to MAB. This suffix indicates monoclonal antibodies, a newer class of drugs used to target specific proteins in the body. They are often used to treat autoimmune diseases, cancers, and inflammatory conditions. Examples of medicine names with suffix MAB include adalimumab, used for rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, and psoriasis. Infliximab, which is commonly used for autoimmune conditions like ulcerative colitis and rheumatoid arthritis. Rituximab, used to treat certain types of cancer such as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Trastuzumab, a targeted therapy used to treat HER2-positive breast cancer. Next, we have the suffix PAM, which is found in benzodiazepines. These drugs act as tranquilizers and are commonly prescribed for anxiety, insomnia, and seizure disorders. They work by calming the brain and nervous system. Some common benzodiazepines with suffix PAM are diazepam, often used for anxiety, muscle spasms, and seizures. Lorazepam, frequently prescribed for anxiety and sleep disorders. Clonazepam, which is commonly used to treat panic disorders and seizures. Another important suffix is vir, which you'll often see in antiviral drugs. These medications are used to treat viral infections by interfering with the virus's ability to replicate. Some examples of medicine names with the suffix vir include acyclovir, used for herpes infections including cold sores and genital herpes. Oseltamivir, used to treat and prevent influenza, the flu. Tenofovir, used in the treatment of HIV and hepatitis B. Valacyclovir, commonly prescribed for herpes zoster, shingles, and cold sores. Next is Sartan, which refers to angiotensin II receptor blockers, ARBs. These drugs are used to treat high blood pressure and heart failure by blocking the effects of angiotensin, a chemical in your body that narrows blood vessels. Examples of medicines with suffix sartan include telmisartan, primarily used for treatment of hypertension, cardiovascular risk reduction, and nephropathy. Losartan, commonly prescribed for hypertension and to protect the kidneys in people with diabetes. Valsartan, used for high blood pressure and heart failure. Candesartan, used to treat high blood pressure. Irbesartan, often prescribed for hypertension and diabetic nephropathy. Next, we have the suffix dipine, found in calcium channel blockers. These drugs help lower blood pressure by relaxing the muscles of your heart and blood vessels. Some examples of medications with suffix dipine are amlodipine, commonly used to treat high blood pressure and angina. Nifedipine, used for high blood pressure and certain types of chest pain. Felodipine, also used for managing high blood pressure. Nicardipine, often prescribed for angina and high blood pressure. Now, let's include NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, commonly used to relieve pain, reduce fever, and decrease inflammation. Profen. These drugs are used to reduce inflammation and pain, often in conditions like arthritis or injury. Examples are ibuprofen, ketoprofen, flurbiprofen. Phenec, another common suffix for NSAIDs or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs that treat pain and inflammation. Examples: diclofenac, nepafenac, bromfenac. Oxycam. These NSAIDs are often used for long-term conditions like arthritis. Examples: meloxicam, piroxicam. Serotonin-related suffixes. Now let's cover drugs that affect serotonin levels, which are used to treat conditions like depression, anxiety, and migraines. Oxetine. These are SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, that help increase serotonin levels in the brain to improve mood. Examples: fluoxetine, paroxetine, duloxetine. Let's consider the suffix triptan. These medicines with suffix triptan are serotonin receptor agonists, primarily used to treat migraines by activating serotonin receptors. Examples: sumatriptan, rizatriptan, zolmitriptan. Zodone. Medication ending with zodone are serotonin modulators and stimulators used for treating depression. Atypical antipsychotics with the zodone suffix are used to treat schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, major depressive disorder, and anxiety disorders. Examples: trazodone, nefazodone, vilazodone. Dopa. Medicines with suffix dopa are dopamine precursors for Parkinson's disease. Examples of drug name with suffix dopa are levodopa, treats Parkinson's disease; carbidopa, levodopa, combination used for Parkinson's disease. Next are corticosteroids with the suffixes son or olone, which are used to reduce inflammation in conditions such as asthma, arthritis, and allergic reactions. Prednisone, used to treat conditions like asthma, arthritis, and severe allergies. Hydrocortisone, often used for skin conditions and inflammation. Dexamethasone, commonly used for reducing inflammation in various conditions, including autoimmune diseases and cancer-related swelling. Anesthetics-related suffixes. Caine. This suffix is common in local anesthetics, which block nerve signals to provide pain relief in a specific area of the body. These drugs are often used during minor surgeries, dental procedures, or to relieve localized pain. Examples of medicines ending in caine are lidocaine, commonly used in dental procedures and minor surgeries; bupivacaine, used in epidurals and for long-lasting local anesthesia; novocaine, a well-known anesthetic, often used in dental work; procaine, another local anesthetic, often used for minor procedures. These medications work by numbing a particular area and are vital tools for pain management during surgical or medical procedures. In our video, we have talked about identifying medicines by their suffixes. These suffixes were of generic drug names and not their brand names. The brand name will differ. For example, Telmed and Telma are brand names, whereas telmisartan is a generic drug name. Diazepam is a generic drug name, whereas Valium is a brand name. Keep watching our vocabulary channel for more words from multifarious domains. Keep learning.